Hi, I'm Ajay Fry. This is 5 on Fry. I've got 5 topics for you in about 5 minutes. Let's get started. So yes, 5 on Fry is a show where I give you my take on 5 different topics. It's not supposed to be all that personal, but I did get married, I had an awesome wedding, and I want to tell you all about it. First things first, let's talk about my beautiful wife, Zara. That moment when she walked out and I finally saw her in her wedding dress, I understand what every other groom before me has gone through. I choked up a little bit, couldn't help it. Secondly, here's a little clip from my vows. They were very geeky.
Today, I vow to you that if we ever find a space-time travel device, you pick where we go first, because in all of time and space, I would want to go wherever you would be the most happy.
My brother was my best man, and his best man speech was out of this world. I'll put the whole thing on YouTube eventually, but here's a little highlight.
I didn't really know how to finish the speech, so I came up with a haiku. You've now found player 2. Someone you can team up with. I'll still beat you both.
Now, I'd like to take some of the credit for making it an awesome party, but I don't really deserve any credit because Zara did a great job organizing and styling our wedding. We went with a circus theme with a few elements of Nintendo, which should have been a great hint that Mario would show up and crash the dance floor. Unbelievable. I don't know how I managed to get that to happen. I gotta give a big thank you to Victoria from Conan Wolf for making that happen for us. But it is the real Mario who was at our wedding. There's only one in existence. And it was so cool to celebrate with Mario on our big day. And I do have to express extreme gratitude and thanks to Zara for doing so much of the work preparing our wedding. Beyond all the organizing work that she put into the wedding, she also put together this amazing candy table for everyone to enjoy, complete with donuts from Glory Hole Donuts, and of course our wedding cake, which was made by Cakes Cove. Highly recommend them. And our cake topper was actually our Nintendo Mii's, but dressed in our wedding attire. And if that wasn't enough sweets for everyone, our friend Courtney got us an amazing piñata, and after Zara and my failed attempts at busting that piñata, Zara's cousin Stephanie just tore it to shreds. I know it's a cliche to say, but it was honestly the best day of my life, so big thank you to all of my friends, my coworkers, and my family who were there to celebrate with me. I love you all. After an amazing wedding, you've got to go on an amazing honeymoon, and Zara and I certainly did. We stayed at a sandals resort in Ocho Rios, Jamaica, and it was awesome. We spent most of our honeymoon just relaxing, which I think is what you're supposed to do after all the stress of organizing a wedding and getting married. We went snorkeling, we went to Dunn's River Falls, that's us ascending the falls, and that's the moment right there where our cell phones, which were in my pocket in a Ziploc bag, actually got wet because the Ziploc bag had holes in it. So while I did get lots of photos and videos on my phone, I can't really share them with you. But you know what? A honeymoon is supposed to be special. And Zara and I have lots of great memories reading Saga on the beach, or reading the Avatar: The Last Airbender comics that Martin gave us. Thanks, Martin. They were awesome. Now I know what happened to Zuko's mom. In summary, it was an amazing honeymoon. I loved every minute of it. And I should probably stop talking about it now because I have a feeling I'm making you guys very jelly. Alright, number 3, a quick plug for this awesome book, The Lady Paranorma, by one of my favorite artists, Vincent Marconi. I actually have one of his paintings up in my bedroom. It's called Scarlet Voice. And this was actually originally a short film, an animated short film that was awesome. And now he's turned it into a book that's available now. Link in the description down below. Oh, and we're gonna have a full story on Vincent and the book on Inner Space in a couple of weeks. Watch Inner Space weeknights at 6 and 11 only on Space. Okay, this next topic is going to be a bit weird for both of us. For me, because it's not a subject I've talked about before, and for you, because it's a subject you often hear about, but probably not in this way. I'm talking about Miley Cyrus. And no, I'm not talking about her as a sexual object. I'm not talking about her because she's in a feud with anyone. I'm not talking about her because she's offended anyone. I'm just talking about her because she's an artist, and the art that she made on Saturday Night Live this past weekend with her second musical performance, a song called Twinkle Song, was absolutely amazing. It's on her YouTube page. I'll link it down below. And while you're listening, just forget about all the other Miley Cyrus stuff that's in your head. Because I find the best way to appreciate an artist is to simply appreciate their art. Finally, perhaps most importantly, no cosplay cutie this week because I wanted to remind you to vote on October 19th in the upcoming Canadian federal election. There are so many countries in the world where voting is simply not an option, and many countries in the world where you have to vote. I, for one, believe that it's great that we live in a country where we can choose to vote, and I always choose to vote because democracy works best when everyone is involved. That's why it's so important to go out and vote on October 19th. I'll have a full episode of 5 on Fry dedicated to the election next Friday, but until then, thanks for watching, and see you in the future.